Ass nigga.
James catches, puts up a three. Won't go. Rebound Bosh. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Bang! Tie game with 5 seconds remaining.
Oh yeah. We packing somebody up tonight. Hey. Come on in, take your shoes off before we close the door. Few rules, heat pack in the air, we about to blow. This the basement, ain't nobody safe, you already know. Grab a seat and kick your feet before you get too comfortable. You want the X's and the O's, the Trey, yes and no, friends and the foes, the Butlers and the Heroes. You can feel it in your soul, so when the ring is the goal. But if somebody need to go, we be sure to let you know. Going hard for my dogs is an everyday thing, like Jimmy down the lane of 13 off the screen. Whole squad keep it tucked like number 17. Bring your takes and your memes, going hard for the team. Going down in the basement. It's going down in the basement. Get your takes off. Get your takes off. Going down in the basement.
Yeah! Hey, Jalen Brunson, don't you wish you had came to play for the Heat? Fuck is wrong with you? Bitch, the Heat, once again, where we belong, in the Eastern Conference Finals, after putting New York fucking dick in the dirt tonight, 96-92. Ah, my guys, shit feels lovely. I'm your host, Roy A. Shepherd, and with me today, we got the boy Ant Donato. Ant, how you doing today?
Man, I'm relieved they survived with Scott Foster masterclass, man. I'm happy and just still shocked that after all the shit we went through this year, we right back where we belong, baby, just like you said.
For sure. Also pulling up, we got my boy Bubba. Bubba, how you doing today, bro?
Bro, I'm doing great. We deserve this. After everything that has occurred, listen, fuck New York. It was always Heat and 5 in terms of games that Jimmy Butler fucking played. And listen, Worldwide Wob, whatever the fuck your name is, keep reading those history books, motherfucker. It's over because you cannot be watching the New York Knicks play basketball anymore. Fuck them. They got to go home. They got to watch us play in the Eastern Conference Finals for the third time in 4 years. And I remember when those 76er fans told us that Jimmy came here to retire and lose basketball games.
Yes, indeed. And all you hoes have to meet us here because you can't beat us here. Give us just a second. We're going to get to them. We're going to introduce this panel first. Kangs before donos, always, brother Justin. But before we get to them Kangs, we got my boy Professor Shelton pulling up one time. Professor Shelton, how you doing this evening?
I'm great. I eulogized the Knicks a couple streams ago. Something happened in between then and now that, doesn't really fucking matter. But we made it. We made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. That's all that really matters. And fuck Scott Foster.
No, for sure. We ain't going to focus on Scott Foster until we do. But rounding out the panel to put New York in their proper place, a.k.a. a pack, we got two members of the Cain Gang. First, we starting off with my boy Cain Threat. Cain Threat, how you doing today?
Hey, man, another year, another conference finals. We do this shit. Something small to a boss, baby.
Easy money. Last but not least, unless it's in my book, which he's definitely least, the boy Cain Kendall. Kendall, how you doing today, bro?
That's why DeSantis taking books from Florida now, because niggas like you. But anyways, the boy is doing amazing. You know what I'm saying? ECF hope. Another year, another Eastern Conference Finals, 3 and 4 years. Shout out to Erik Spoelstra, man, because he is that fucking guy. And it's just a lovely feeling to be here and to experience this for another year. Even though it was unexpected, it feels good. It feels amazing, to be real.
No, for sure. Hey, let him pop in here for a second, Justin, so that we can all look and laugh. Fuck that. He gets no words tonight. Stop playing the music, Justin. He gone. He gets no words tonight. Just came in so we can laugh at him.
He looks like an NYC sewer rat.
A Ninja Turtle, if you will. Master Spencer, fuck is wrong with you? I want to thank Trajan Butler with the 199. Don't know. He said, we going back. Let's go. Listen, we can feel like that for the night, but eventually we're going to get to analyzing the next round series. Want to thank Dan the Film Jet for the $5. Don't know. Consistency is key, ladies and gentlemen. He said, Julius, former McDonald's French fry servant scandal is an overrated fraud. ECF, babies, here we come. For shit show, overrated is one word, by the way. Sebastian Scudetto with the $4.99. Don't know. He said Knicks back in the air tonight for shit show, my boy. Hey. Alex Campbell with the $4.99. Don't know. RJ Barrett was right on time. 50. He couldn't get it. Neither could Jalen Brunson. Fuck is you talking about? Trajan again with the $1.99. Don't know. He said we can leave Herro in New York. Give us JB. Not right now. Not right now. Want to thank our dog Nicole with the $1.99. Don't know. She said Julius Randle, the worst player ever. For real. I will not argue with you now, bitch. Trajan Butler again.
Konnichiwa.
Shingon Finals. Thank you.
一支后卫，身高6尺10，身披10号战袍，本西蒙斯 ，Number 10，本西蒙。
Trajan Butler with the $1.99. Don't know. He said 5'11", number 11 will give me nightmares tonight. Why is that? He is on a flight back to New York where his fuck ass will stay for the remainder of the playoffs. Fuck is you talking about? Want to thank my boy James Todd with the $20. Don't know. He said April 11th, Miami loses play-in to Atlanta Hawks. May 12th, Miami is the first team in the East to advance to the ECF. Second A seed to make it to the ECF. Funny how things work out. Y'all got a preference for that matchup? Absolutely. It is Philadelphia. The way I saw them choke away Game 6 cannot be erased from my mind. So they have to be the ones that we play out there in order for us to have I'm not going to do that tonight. Kendall, I've talked enough. Go ahead and cook this one for me. That boy talking to you.
Let the whites go. Let them go.
No. Thank you, Michael Thomas with the $9.99. Don't know. The boy said,
and I quote,
for sure. And the boy, the nasty man, setting the tone for all you hoes this evening with the $100 dinero. Don't know. Nasty man. Fuck is you talking about? Fuck Scott Foster, Knicks Bodega, Subway Pizza by the Slice, Tall Building, Heat and 5, always. For sure, my guy. Let's go ahead and round out these donuts with my girl, the coldest, with the $1.99 donut. She said Ricky in bed looking like a single mother.
Oh, my God.
The shit is crazy. Pause the donuts right quick because we almost 10 minutes into the show, and I'm the only person that's talked. So we're going to start the show off with getting Threat's thoughts to the game. Threat, go ahead, bro.
It was a Bam masterclass tonight. I love the head-to-head matchup he had against Scott Foster tonight. It was one of the best head-to-head matchups I've ever seen in NBA history. Scott Foster was putting up Wilt Chamberlain whistle numbers. I've never seen anybody use his mouth that way since Pinky and Tiana Trump. That was incredible. You know what I'm saying? But now, on to the game, though. Bam was hooping. I wish we would have kept going to Bam the way we was feeding him in the second quarter. We kind of went away from that, but he was still having his imprint in the game in the fourth quarter, especially late in the game. Dog, he was doing it every facet of the game, offensively, defensively, on the boards, the plays that you don't see on the stat sheet. He was making those plays, which is supposed to be made by Euro players, by the way. He was doing that as well. So major shout out to Bam. Who else was really who? Jimmy had his moments. You know what I'm saying? I'm not used to this version of Jimmy. I don't know if this is a version of Jimmy we should be expecting with the ankle injury. I don't know how swollen it's gotten. I don't know how bad it's gotten. But if he's on the court, then he's on the court, and we're not going talk about it too much. But I am gonna monitor that whole situation. And shout out to the rest of the guys just for getting us to this point. They didn't have a great game today, but they had a good first two series. Well, up until this point, of course. So I want to just give a shout out to all the players that contributed, except for two guys. Except for two guys who were on the Knicks payroll. And one of those guys' name is Gabe Vincent, and the other guy's name is Cody Zeller. I will find you. And what happens when I find you, I cannot say. They will ban me off YouTube. But I will find you. I will track down your flight. And I will find you. But that's all. Shout out to the Heat, though, man. Eastern Conference Finals. One time for the boys. We did it again.
No, for sure, bro. For sure. let me get these next 3 donos. I want to thank Alex Campbell for the $4.99. He said, "Nah, but they can take Gabe to NYC with them." My boy Threat just alluded to that. Absolutely. Thank you, HM, with the $2 dono. I hope you're having a good night. He said, "Bootyish Randall was clutch tonight. Thank you, son." Nah, for real. B was mad hooping for the Heat this evening. Raziel, the great, with the $10 dono. He said, "ECF, we taking it to 6 games no matter who we face. We are not afraid of Boston. You are not afraid of Boston." He said, "Philly's a bunch of pretenders." He said, "UCKF is you." Oh, what? I don't. Is that fuck is you talking about? You spelled that wrong, but I guess fuck is you talking about. I'm with that, Raziel. Kendall, give me your thoughts on the game tonight.
It was a great game because the Heat won. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't like to go to the refs. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start with the Debbie Downer shit. I don't like to go to the refs, but boy, that first and fourth quarter, RJ Barrett was disgusting out there on offense, but somehow got to the free throw line 8 times. It was disturbing my peace. And then, you know what I'm saying, the Heat did, they mucked it up. And I just want to say shout out to Spo, shout out to Bam for actually coming through, because Spo cut Zeller's minutes. Like he extended Bam tonight. Zeller didn't start the second. They played through Bam. They treated the man like a star. It's something that I've been like begging for. When Jimmy's not on the court. When Jimmy on the court, I get it. And they pack niggas up, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna hold you. Like, them boys did what they had to do. It's a lovely feeling. Like, it feels better than last year. I'm not gonna hold you. Because it's like, for them to suck that bad, like, throughout the season, to be so ass, for them to get it out the dirt, get it out the mud, like, they real deal they can play, like, depending on the opponent, they can play any style to some degree. You know what I'm saying? Like, with Milwaukee, it was an offensive shootout. Like, they was hitting threes all of a sudden. That came down. And then we saw Bam step up. You know what I'm saying? Take that. And I also want to give a shout out to that fat nigga himself. Word to Swisho. Kyle Lowry. I'm not going to hold you, bro. If he would have said what he said last year, this year, boy would have been on some shit. Like, because if he was saving it for the real season, 9.7 assists at halftime, it is great to see. And now, you know, them dirty ass Knicks, bro. Good luck putting it together for another year. Good luck with the matchups falling your way. Because the Statue of Liberty don't like the shit that y'all did tonight. The Empire State Building is in flux. Coney Island is on its last leg. Coney Island hot dogs on their last leg. Mr. Softy's ice cream, don't nobody want it. Nobody want to go to the bodegas. Nobody want to see Spider-Man. Don't nobody want to see no Marvel movies. M. Night Shyamalan, I don't know what that got to do with New York, but I'm going to get that nigga straight too. Fuck him. Fuck Carmelo Anthony, that nigga's trash. Jokic over here making 15 in Denver look a whole lot different. Jalen Brunson done more than you have in New York. Jalen Brunson, you 6'1", and you sorry as fuck. I'm lying, but you sorry as fuck when you play the Heat. Gabe Vincent put you in the torture chamber. I'm about to get some nasty lies off on this network, boy, because I can do that. But nah, I ain't even finna hold you. I got more in the pack. Fuck the Knicks. Fuck Ricky J. Mark. Them niggas is ass, and I'm so glad we packed them up. And I just want to say I'm happy for Jimmy Butler, because this was like his first playoff series in which he closed it at the crib, if my memory serves me correct, because he didn't play it against Atlanta. So it's good for him to feel that. And shout out to Spo. And the rest of the NBA, y'all should be fucking ashamed of yourselves. The fact that we got to the Eastern Conference Finals is literally nasty. but it's glorious for myself. So shout out to the Heat. Fuck the Knicks, fuck the Mets, and y'all know the rest. But yeah, I love it. I love it.
They said we wouldn't be here, Kendall. And by they, I mean us. We said we wouldn't be here. Don't care. We here now. Fuck it you talking about. Shelton, go ahead. Cook, bro.
Yeah, like Kendall and Threat said, it was a pretty good game overall. Sort of echoing what Threat said, I was really mad they started to go away from Bam like entirely in the second half. It was so frustrating. And I get, you have Jimmy time and you want to go through Jimmy because he's the guy that got you there, but at some point you got to ride the hot hand. And then, like Kendall said, Kyle Lowry, man, I have hated this man all year. I still sort of do. Yeah, I still sort of do. But, 11, 4, and 9 on 4 of 6 shooting, 3 steals and a block, and he had that steal at the end to pretty much seal it. He's looking pretty good off the bench is all I'll say. And he was hot ass before, so decent is better than nothing, But yeah, it was a really exciting game. It was a really exciting game. The one thing that pissed me off the most, and I don't really want to spend too much time on it either, we had 8 fouls with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And that was some shit. The Knicks had 13 points. We had 14 points. And they were 2 of 12 from the field.
The Panthers just won.
Are
Panthers?
you serious?
The crib is on fire. The crib is on fire.
South Florida is the place to be right now. But continuing on, like the Knicks were 2 of 12, and they had 1 less point than us because of the foul bullshit. So, it was really frustrating at the end there, but they got it done. That's all that matters. You won the game. Fuck M. Night Shyamalan, even though he's from Philly. We'll see them next round. But fuck him too, I guess. And yeah, fuck the Knicks.
Cook. Fuck is you talking about? I want to thank Alex Porter with the 2 Aussie bucks. He said someone's cutting out onions. I'm so happy, fam. Listen, brother, you and me both, bro. Thank you, Trey John, again with the $1.99. Don't know. He said optimistic Ant was right all year. Hey, bro, who am I to tell you that y'all was wrong? Miami No 815 with the $5 dono. He said they called Sprewell the Knicks legend. LMAO. They also called Patrick Ewing the Knicks legend, and he has won fucking nothing. Thank you, Frosty Drip with the $4.99 dono. He said, does Ricky not want to talk today? Boy, hi, and when they win, LOL. That is by design. We do not care to hear from Ricky J. Mark today, so we don't give a fuck what he got to say about what happened in this series. My boy Jeff, ni hao, with the $249. He said, what's up, Ricky? Knicks were no match, even with Scott Foster Masterclass. He said, you really think they had a chance? Jimmy didn't even score 30. Bam bong. Exactly. Bam bong. Thank you, Alex Campbell with the $4.99. Don't know. Said RJ got ripped by Duncan in an ISO. That is pretty hilarious. Oh, Kyle Lowry Daddy with the $4.99. Don't know. He said the only time it's cool to smoke a Nick, Heat Nation. It's always cool to smoke a Nick. Fuck is you talking about? Ant, since they called you out, we're gonna come to you next. Give me your thoughts on the game, brother.
Yeah, man. I love this energy we got going on tonight, man. I fucking hate that entire Knicks team. Love to see nothing more for them to go down, except for Brunson, though. I do want to take a second to give him some respect. That dude's a fucking hooper. He earned a lot of my respect this series. I remember in the offseason, there was talks Miami might want him. It's probably just a leverage play, but he's a good player. I want to leave it at that. Screw the rest of that team, man. Julius Randle, he's a bum like we all been saying. He more like Randall from Monsters, Inc., the way he disappears. You got Tom Thibodeau, that boy holding on to his last 3 strands of hair, kind of like Jeff Van Gundy holding on to Alonzo's leg. You got Derrick Rose. I remember a few years ago, he said that he was sitting out games so he could walk at his son's graduation. At this rate, he's going to be walking at his great-great-great-grandson's graduation, too, because that boy's a bum. He don't fucking play no more either. They've called Scott Foster the extender. I just call him a piece of shit. Quite frankly, I'm hyped, man. Now, it's a little different than the last game versus the Bucks because that was pure shock. This is a series I expected to win. And, of course, we started to get a little nervous. They started playing like shit the last few games. But that's the sign of a good team to me when you can, play these bad games, shoot terrible. They shot under 30% from 3 again and still find a way to come out with a dub. The playoffs are going to be ugly. That's what the playoffs are. And the good teams find a way to win. And I am actually pretty hopeful going into the next round, no matter who they play. And I started thinking about Alex yesterday, too, when he said bring on the Celtics. I know Philly been looking like shit, but Boston ain't looking all that good either. Man. So Alex Maserati, not Shelton. I'll clarify. But I'm hyped, man. I'm real hyped going into the next round, man. I am.
I am too, bro. I'm like cautiously optimistic, bro. Like I want to believe in what we just did, but the Knicks are so fucking terrible, bro. Like they are just bad, bro. They are just bad. Bubba, we're gonna let you cook, and then we're gonna let Shelton cook, and then I'll read the rest of the donuts.
So yes, I don't want to talk about the Celtics right now. I'll just talk about the game. I'll get to the Celtics later. So I want to start with this, bro. Like Erik Spoelstra and Jesus Christ are in the same tier for me in terms of creating miracles and generating them from absolutely nothing. I don't know what's more impressive, getting Duncan Robinson and Max Strus to play high-level NBA basketball in real minutes in Eastern Conference Finals games, or turning water into wine. I don't know what's more impressive. 3 Eastern Conference Finals in 4 years, despite how annoying this team has been, is absolutely fucking crazy. And if your fan base ain't at that level, or if your organization isn't at that level, like raise your standards. Because if you're upset about the complaining and stuff, but like, listen, man, we still get to the Eastern Conference Finals. Quentin Grimes, bro, difference maker, airballed the last shot of the Knicks season. RJ Barrett, difference maker, overrated since I don't even know how long. Jalen Brunson was the only person who earned a little bit of my respect tonight. Like, seriously. Julius Randle is a bum. Like, he should be benched. Tom Thibodeau is done. The Knicks organization is cooked. Like, I don't know, man. Jimmy Butler didn't even give them that work tonight. He seemed a little bit hobbled. He seemed a little bit like, But Bam Adebayo, man, don't ever say bullying doesn't work, bro. We wanted this. We wanted the aggression. We told him, don't let this happen again. And listen, he listened. He didn't let it happen again. So that's all you can do, man. Bam Adebayo was, to me, our best player tonight. His defense, bro, the dunking, I just want one and one dunk for Bam. Just one. I don't know why he isn't allowed to get an and one dunk and like scream at the crowd like everybody else is allowed to do, but it's ridiculous. Robinson and Randall, they were hitting him in the face. But listen, man, at this point, we're going to have to call this the Erik Spoelstra Invitational. Fuck the Eastern Conference Finals. And if you want to call, can I interest you? The Knicks are so bad. Can I interest you in 1 for 15 Jason Tatum entering the fourth quarter? Can I then interest you in that team blowing it against him by letting him outscore them? Can I interest you in Doc Rivers? Can I interest you in Joe Mazzulla, who, if Erik Spoelstra tomorrow got a concussion like Tua Tagovailoa, would be better at coaching than Doc and Mazzulla tomorrow? Tomorrow. I'm taking Eric Glass over Joe Mazzulla, bro. I'm taking Chris Quinn over Doc Rivers. I do not care about either of those two teams. I will see y'all in the finals. It's just a matter of who's coming out the West. Jimmy Butler might do it, bro. Maybe this is Jimmy Butler's arc. Maybe this is the most get it out the mud athlete we have ever seen in our fucking lives, that he will take playing team to the fucking finals. And I'm really starting to believe it, man. This is crazy. And all you Knicks fans out there celebrating Knicks in 5, all that shit, all, the stuff in the videos. Enjoy it, man. Enjoy another offseason. Enjoy that Central Park. Enjoy Alex the Lion. Enjoy all that bullshit. It's fucking over, man. You will not be watching basketball any longer. And listen, man, another Eastern Conference Finals is fucking crazy, to be honest with you. I'm in disbelief.
It's fucking wild and beyond any of our wildest dreams. Taru, ball. That's why you're taking me over Mazzulla and Doc. Duh. Everybody knows that. Shelton, go ahead and get your shit off about the game, bro.
Oh, I already did that, but I'll talk about.
Don't do it. Let me read these donos.
Okay.
Where's the last dono that I read? Thank you, H. I read that one. Not this one. Thank you, Luke Apollon. Go back. Thank you, Luke Apollon, with the $4.99 dono. He said, it's a parade inside my city. Yeah. 305, stand up. Smoking on that Knicks pack, just like the rest of us. Appreciate you, Luke Apollon. Go ahead, Dan the Film Gent with the $10 dono. He said, Ricky, I appreciate you and your takes on this series, but just like your boy Emmanuel, you ain't quickly enough to make a smooth lob for the official sponsor of tonight's video. Like the boy Dan the Film Gent throwing me the lob for the weather advisor. Ladies and gentlemen, insurance does not need to be complicated. Make sure you email them or give them a call today and tell them the basement sent you. Email I got James Pugh at jpugh@simplehealthadvisor.com, or give them a call at 321-345-7738. Again, that phone number is 321 345-7738. Call my dog if you got any insurance problems. We want to thank him and the people over at Simple Advisors again for sponsoring not only this show, but the network in its totality. Appreciate you, Dan, for the logs, bro. All season long, you've been here for me. What's the next comment that we got after Dan, bro? Because I want to talk about Bam a lot. Alex G, thank you for the $5 dono. He said, how bad would it have been if Gabe, if we would have lost it? Listen, bro. I know I didn't read your comment all the way, but Gabe Vincent, bro, there's a bean pointing at that boy's head right now. I'm not even going to hold you. We got to find. I ain't going to speak no more on this because boy tried to hold us out of win. Really. What was next? That's it? We good? Yeah. So let's talk about Bam. Threat, I'm coming back to you because you ain't talked in a long time. The boy Bam gave us what we needed throughout the course of this game. We've talked about him a lot. The aggression shit. We didn't need that from him. Talk about Bam's game tonight.
Bam was unstoppable, bro. Like, we've been harping for this type of production from Bam, and ever since that stinker that he laid, you know, he kind of gave us that great production. I think the numbers were like 20.5 and 10 rebounds per game. So what we want from Bam is 20 and 10 with the same defensive effort. If he could give us 20 and 10 every single time, bro, nobody would be complaining. You know what I'm saying? So going into this next series, dog, the task doesn't end here, bro. The task doesn't end against the New York Knicks and what we just played. He has to bring that same intensity, that same type of play style into the next series because we don't know what we're going to expect from Jimmy going into the next series. So I like what I saw in spurts from Bam in this game, particularly when we started to actually play through Bam. We ran a lot of the actions at the top of the key. Bam was either finding a shot, finding an open man, getting to his sweet spot. He did a lot of positives came from when we were doing actions through Bam at the top of the key and at the restricted line. I don't know why we went away from it, but it was cooking the whole second quarter, bro. And he had 17 in the first half. We went away from it in the third, and then he started cooking again in the fourth when we needed buckets, especially late. He hit that fuck you Mitty to Scott Foster late in that game, which we desperately fucking needed because he wasn't giving us no foul calls. Niggas was getting fucking hacked and niggas was basically a monkey gym. The Knicks players were allowed to swing on the arms of our players, bro, and there was no calls being made, bro. So Bam said, fuck that. I ain't finna go in the paint. Here's a la fuck you Mitty. You know what I'm saying? So my dog Bam really produced tonight. He produced at the back end of this series as a whole. We got it out the mud. It was an ugly game. We really had to play through Bam to get this dub. And I'm glad it resulted in a win. Because it was really, for me, it was like, who's going to die out first, Brunson or Bam? You know what I'm saying? And the team kind of rallied around Bam late in that game, so he didn't have to put all the work that he did in the first half into the second half, but he still gave us enough of that punch that we needed to get this dub. We don't win this game without Bam's performance. Every single stat line that he put up, we needed every single one of them.
So, like, to that point, like, Bam and Jimmy, like, Jimmy's stat line turned out to be a little bit better. Like, Jimmy had one more point, but to your point, it felt like we played through Bam, which is something to Kendall's credit. Kendall has been asking for all fucking season, but it felt like we kind of leaned into that a little bit more than we had for the rest of this series. Kendall, tell me what you thought about that in particular in terms of like how Bam played tonight.
Had to get off mute for a second. Yeah, it's good to see because I mean, I feel like the fan base been calling him out for a while, but for him to call out himself, you know what I'm saying, and say like he had to play better. Like to Threat's point, like he has, like he done been dominant. I'm not gonna hold you. Like it don't look like it on like a box score. Like I think this is, you know, it's kind of cliche with Bam. The whole like, oh, he does things you don't see in the box score, even though he's like our star player. And it's kind of like cliche to him to like for like some fans or people that really know ball to say shit like that. But I feel like he kind of turned the corner in my opinion in terms of playoff basketball. Like I don't know how long it'll work because I don't know if, you know, Spo won't switch as much against like the Celtics. I think he can get away with it against the 76ers. But against the Knicks, what's up there? Go ahead, hop in.
I was gonna ask you why you say he turned the corner.
Because I feel like I would say not only him, I would say like Spo and him, and there wasn't a lot of switching. Like in this series, like Bam wasn't really on the perimeter like games 3 through 5, like 3 through 6, excuse me. Like we saw 12, 13 rebound games from Bam when it's like that's not something you really see too often with Bam. And people will be like, oh, we getting killed on the boards. Where's Bam getting rebounds? But it's like if you real deal watch Bam play basketball and the Heat play basketball, the man they would switch everything, whether that was on him, whether that was on scheme, who knows? But it seemed like in this specific series, like they found a path and they was like, fuck that. We're not going to do that. And I think that's because of like, what's this dude's name? The one who's slow.
Mitchell Robinson.
Mitchell Robinson, like he's a lob threat. You know what I'm saying? And the Athletic wanted that. So it's like, can you really afford to switch? Because if your guard don't get there in time, Brunson get a step. Like it's a lob at the rim. So it just I feel like Bam just said, okay, I'm a man this paint strictly on rebounds, strictly on like rebounding. It's interesting. Like, and from that, like everything else from game 2 on seemed to fall into play for him. And it's funny because this is the same Knicks team that just punked 2 7-footers, 2 guys who are taller than Bam down low on the Cleveland Cavaliers. So I wonder if the Heat gonna stay with that, because I personally feel like they should, because it was working on the defensive end, and like I just feel like for Bam's overall game and offensively, it sucks because the man has to play. Gabe Vincent is ass, and I think Gabe Vincent he's hindering Bam's offensive game a lot. Because his shot selection is pretty ass. But when Kyle Lowry comes,
he's not a facilitator, bro. He's not a natural facilitator.
Correct.
I do want to jump in on that Bam point before I let you finish your point about Kyle Lowry, though, about the Bam thing. To answer Threat's question, I believe Bam turned the corner in this series too, because he found a way to make the little shit that he does impactful in a major way. So, like, we know Bam can do everything. Bam chose to man the paint in this series because that is what New York kind of dominates at. That's kind of where they eat. When Bam made that decision, he changed the series in terms of like Miami's ability to guard what New York is good at, which is offensive rebounds, bully ball and shit like that. Bam leaned into that shit. And to me, that's a step. When you can do that in the regular season 1 game. But when you decide to do that in the playoffs, and then you can see that impact ripple throughout the course of like multiple games, that's to me like him turning a corner in terms of him understanding what impact he can have on a series. Maybe not necessarily in the scoring department, but like Kendall said, like he kind of bled into the other aspects of his game. So Kendall, I want to let you make your last point on Kyle Lowry before I throw that bitch to Shelton.
That boy said last point like I'm not him.
Yeah, you're damn straight. I said last point because you've been on for 20 minutes.
But nah, like I felt like Bam's offense kind of looked, in my opinion, how it would look if we had some attacking guards that could get it off the bounce without his screen. Like Bam had, like game 4, he had multiple dunks. He had like 5-6 dunks. Tonight, he was in the paint. But I just like, and then my last point, what I really like, man, they treated the man like a star tonight. They cut Zeller's minutes at the beginning of the second. Spo said, fuck that. We lost in game 7. In those minutes is where we lost the game in game 5, in my opinion. It was when we went to that Haywood Highsmith lineup, which is nasty as fuck. Spo said, fuck all that. He put Bam back in to begin the second, and they played through him. Lowry was on the court. And it was just a beauty to see, because the man took over the game, got us back in it, and we just never looked back from there. It was a back and forth counter punch, but we did our thing and we won. So it's good to see. But I think Bam I feel like they kind of found something. Hopefully they can stay in front of their man against the I would say Boston because that's who I think is going to win. But if it's the 76ers, I hope they can stay in front of the man against the 76ers because I feel like Bam's effort and impact down low on the boards is like real crucial. And that's where like he can kind of shine and like keep a flow and feel like he's in the game.
I feel like what Bam decides to do in the next series is going to be dependent on the opponent that we play. He needs to do the same thing similar to what he did in the New York series, is find like what part of his game is going to be most effective or most impactful for this team and just kind of lean into that. I think against Boston, that might be his scoring. And against Philly, it's just his ability to defend Joel Embiid. So that could be the case. But Shelton, I'm going to toss it to you on the Bam conversation, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think the main thing that we wanted to see from Bam consistently, like even if he was having sort of a down scoring game, was like show the energy, right? Just like show that you're putting in the energy on the offense.
Anybody else hear that?
Yeah,
I think your internet is cooked.
I was like, hey, brother, you might be cooking. The world may never know. It's like, well, leave and come back. We're gonna go to Bubba and then we'll talk about you when you jump back in. Bubba, go ahead and jump off on the Bam conversation.
Yeah, the number one thing I wanted to talk about Bam was what Kendall was saying about the rebounding. Like, that kind of just flipped the whole thing for him. Like, I thought it was maybe just a mentality thing. Like, he was kicking into overdrive, and literally one of the biggest narratives from that Cavs-Knicks series was that Mobley and Jared Allen were completely ineffective. So for Bam to go out there at 6'9" and generate a ton of second chance opportunities to be dunking on these dudes through contact that should be fucking ones, but they're not. Like that last one he got, bro, that should have been the dagger until Gabe Vincent wanted to get a Mike Tyson knockout punch on fucking Jalen Brunson, bro. Before that, like that should have been an and one dagger to send us to the Eastern Conference Finals, and the crowd should have been able to enjoy that. But Scott Foster had other plans. But regardless, bro, if Bam plays like this every night, like we're winning a championship. I'm taking Jimmy Butler in the playoffs and Bam like this over any duo remaining right now. Any of them, including all of them. Who? I mean, like, yes, there's Donnie. Like,
I don't know if you saw that boy Nikola in that closeout game.
No, sure. No, I'm just saying a duo.
That shit was terrifying, bro.
Are you saying Bam Adebayo wouldn't lock him up? Bam Adebayo would lock Nikola Jovic up.
We may have not already lost to a duo that's in the playoffs right now.
Yeah,
not coached by Joe Mazzulla.
Also, Bam has never in his life locked up Nikola Jovic. So
at all. He make them work, but it ain't
not even close. So I'm not even gonna do that. Shelton, since you left, I'm coming to you last. We're going to Ant because he's been waiting here patiently. Ant, go ahead and cook on Bam Adebayo.
Yeah, I don't know why. I feel like Bam always plays Embiid pretty well, but for some reason that bitch Jokic makes Bam his bitch. I don't know why. That's truthfully the team that scares me the most. I do want to say, though, I don't think Bam's aggressiveness tonight and 2 games ago has anything to do with the coaching or anything like that. I think it's just up to him. I think no matter the opponent, he can dominate because he is the biggest, strongest, fastest guy in the court 99% of the time. You know, maybe not the biggest, but he provides the athleticism mismatch to guys that are bigger and the size mismatch to guys that are smaller than him. That's why I wish he would do this every single night. And I know the box score does look like Jimmy outplayed him, but that's what's so impressive about Jimmy. The dude, you can remember maybe 2 shots he makes every night, and you look up in the box score and he has 20 points. That is also the sign of a star player there. But this was the Bam Adebayo game to me. Even when he wasn't getting his calls, he was attacking, he was getting hammered, all of that. Even when he wasn't taking shots for 4 or 5 minutes at a time, he came there late in the fourth quarter with that patented mid-range jumper that we've been waiting to see since the second half of the All-Star break. And he came through tonight, man. And I just want to reiterate Alex's point that if he's playing like this, the ceiling of this team is championship. He is a mismatched nightmare unlike anybody else that's left in the playoffs. You can attack Jokic on defense. You can attack him on the break. On Bam, you cannot do that. Now, I'm not saying Bam could guard Jokic like Alex is saying. That's crazy talk. He will shit on him. But there is weaknesses there. When Bam's playing like this, there's almost no weakness that I can think of. He was awesome tonight. I just really want to see him keep it up.
That boy Royal said.
Shit, my bad. I I have put my regular mic on mute. I never do that. I just kind of talk through you motherfuckers. But I do think that there is a advantage that Bam can take it, that Bam can make useful in the series versus Jokic, which is his speed. If he gets Jokic in foul trouble early, then okay, you got something there. What's up, Kendall?
Can we slow the fuck down?
Yeah, I get it. I was gonna zoom right by, bro. I'm getting to the Eastern Conference Finals. We gotta cross a bridge. You know what I'm saying? It sounds good right now because we just beat the Knicks. You know what I mean? Everybody on an emotional high. So championship talk is what's flowing. But let's remember that this is the Miami Heat team that we have watched all season long. Like, there is an extreme chance of a letdown in the Eastern Conference Finals. Go ahead, Bubba. I'm gonna let you cook before I start the show.
Again, the prison of the moment, bro. Welcome back. I do not give a fuck about the Boston Celtics. Jason Tatum gets his kid flown out to every single fucking game so he can go 1 for 15 entering the fourth quarter. All I see this is a recruitment trip for Jaylen Brown. That's all I see this is, bro. Let's get it done. Let's talk business. Let's grab dinner. I know some great places in Boston. Get some fucking food and Heat in 5. And I'm not even discussing Philly. We know the Doc Rivers route. Come on now. And I don't even have faith that he's not going to blow this.
Whoa, brother. Whoa. Now, you got too much dip on your chip.
Hey, but let him cook, though. I'm kind of
Marcus Smart for 3 for the win? No fucking shot. Twice.
I'm kind of fucking feeling it. Shelton, I want you to wrap us up on this Bam conversation.
All right, first off, how's my audio? Good?
Good.
Good? Okay. If I repeat anything that Maserati or Ant said, forgive me. Obviously, I had to dip out there for a second. But, the point that I was getting to before I dipped out initially was Bam's energy level was high tonight. The one thing that I, think that we wanted repeatedly from Bam, even if he's having an off night, scoring, was like at least show up on the offensive end. Like, if you're going to shoot, at least shoot and go 6 for 20. Like, just give us that and show that you're going for it at least. The one thing that I wanted to touch on mainly were the 3 people that Bam defended primarily throughout this game. The third guy was Mitchell Robinson, who was 0 for 2. The second guy was Rowan Barrett, who was 1 for 10. And the third guy was All-NBA Julius Randle, who was 3 for 14.
What's your Jamusa? What's your Megrin Booster Jongrin? What's your Jungle Tai?
Dajia Hao, Wojao Dylan Brooks, Woshi Guangdong Hudui de Senshu for Defin Huwei.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, I mean, Julius is on the fast track to there, so.
Nigga, warm dog.
Besides the offensive output, which, everyone has touched on to this point, he locked these 3 dudes up all night, it felt like. And if it were not for a Jalen Brunson, mid-range masterclass, this would have been a 25-point blowout because you got good Bam Adebayo offensively, and he was doing everything you wanted defensively. And like Ant was saying, the ceiling of the team raises very high if you can get that every single night.
For sure. Now that everybody's gotten their chance to speak, I would like to introduce the host of the Random Scrub Heat podcast, my guy, LJ Cascon, pulling up one time for the one time. Get your motherfucking ass out of my spot. I kind of don't like you up there either. You can stay in the middle. You can host the white people. But LJ, how are you doing this evening? Give me your thoughts on the game.
I aged like 10 fucking years from that game. Scott Foster had me in a fucking chokehold the entire time because I was just waiting. I was like, the Heat couldn't pull away in the second half. In games like this, where it's like you're up 3-1, the home New York kind of empties the clip in their home floor. You usually see a low scoring game the next game, but more of a blowout. Just traditionally in NBA, that's kind of what you see. You got the low scoring part. No team pulled away. New York jumped out 14 to start, and I was like, it's going to be one of these. It was not. The Heat clawed back. Kyle Lowry was instrumental off the bench. I mean, that's a great role for him because we've seen what he does when he starts. I don't want to mess up with what's happening and what's working, but something's got to happen with Gabe. I know we talked that, like, he's got to reel it in, man, because Gabe Vincent is lost. I know that people were saying that his defense, like, you got to keep him out there because he's doing okay on Brunson. Brunson averaged over 30 for the series. He wasn't doing that good on Brunson. Numbers don't lie, my man. Like, the dude's averaging over 30 in the series. You're not doing that good on defense. And sure, Brunson was hitting some crazy shit tonight. But I want to apologize to Brunson, too, because I didn't think that he could lead a team. I did not think that you could make a deep playoff run with him as your number one. Last year, he had Luka. He was the number two. You saw what that team was able to accomplish and overachieve, I guess. This year, he was the one-headed dragon. Like, he was just going, and it was only him for New York. On home games, you'd get the two best home games of Julius Randle's career in the playoffs. And on the road, you get that Julius Randle. I have something I wrote down for RJ Barrett. It goes like, Zhao Shenghao, Xinghao Xiao, Bing Chiling for RJ Barrett. Because that man does not deserve to step foot in the United States ever again with the way that he played. I'm very happy that he did, because he was Miami. He was the Heat's probably third best player tonight. And it's usually Julius Randle. So hats off, man, to RJ Barrett and what he was able to do.
Run that back one more time for me, my boy.
It says, Zhang Hao, Xinghao Xiao, Xinghao Wo, Bing Chiling.
我要金要带，我是冠军，我永远不放弃。
我是詹姆斯，我是每个人不是中国人，我是中国台。
记录1号。
大家好，我叫 Dylan Brooks，我是广东湖队的选手for Defend Huawei。
He said Guangdong in that.
Real quick, just to tap on something. Something's real funny in the light about Luka. I ain't gonna hold you, cause he had Jalen Brunson who could hoop like this, and he had Kyrie hooping this year. I'm just saying. Hey, something real funny in that light. Just saying.
I've been beating at that horse for a minute now.
That's true. After seeing Jalen Brunson.
He is not beating them James Harden allegations, bro.
Yeah, it's looking real funny in the light.
He's next era James Harden, brother.
Listen, and I fuck with Luka, but I cannot, like, after I've heard it, I cannot unhear it and I cannot unsee it. I do think that it's been worth mentioning in terms of this series, just kind of the contribution that we've got from unexpected sources. So I want you to pick your player of the series, your role player of the series, and I want you to talk about them. Black guys, you guys can go last because y'all answers will probably be the best. So we're gonna start with whose answer is gonna be the worst. And obviously, go ahead, pick a role player and talk about him.
Usually I go with Duncan Robinson because that bum pisses me off. Who do I want to talk about here? I want to go with Gabe Vincent just because I was kind of standing up for him last game. Really the last few games because he has been pretty shitty. But the point that I do want to bring up is everything that Kendall was saying earlier. Don't that kind of remind you of another player, Royal, that ain't in the Heat rotation at the moment? Don't that kind of sound like someone else, not kind of slowing up the offense?
Hey, I say, ever since he went down, Gabe been in that bag. So you on to something. Keep going, my friend.
No, that's ain't that remind you of something? The only difference there being one of these bums is not getting paid near max contract while the other one is. It's just something to put out there. And, of course, first and foremost, and, you know, celebratory night here, but I think it needs to be said.
Covers! How the fuck are we? Fuck you, Knicks! We're back, baby! We've got some new products, a whole new stock range from new regions around the world. We'll start. What the fuck is entertainment pack of spring rolls, egg rolls? Oh, that's for Julius Randle! Welcome, buddy! This is what you're eating this season. Hope you enjoy that shit! No fucking way. No fucking way. Scott Foster is on the grill. When the Knicks said they didn't pick up a real free agent after Brunson, that's bullshit. He came through for them. He tried, but he couldn't help this one. He couldn't hurt him. Where is it? Jimmy Butler's knees. They're cooked. He really tried. They're cooked. He did everything, and we still won. Fuck Scott Foster. Fuck them. And when you're done with all that, and you're thirsty, you're dying for something to drink, may I suggest from the Ricky J. Mark vintage, some Knicks fans' tears, a whole bunch of Knicks fans' tears. Cry me a river, bitch. Cry me a river. That's me. That's on the grill. We are, baby.
Yo, that skit is crazy.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh, and
I really don't understand how people could watch any other post game besides this one. That's fucking.
Listen, if you don't want to do that, then make sure you like this video and make sure you subscribe to the Basement Sports Network. We do this all day, every day, apparently.
Shout out to the guy earlier in the comments who didn't even know we were over here. So liking and sharing the video helps other people find us.
For all of you who've been looking for us and who have recently found us, welcome home. Make sure you subscribe now, because we need them subscriptions. Shelton, pick your role player and talk about him.
Was this for player of the series or just a role player for tonight?
Player of the series, it doesn't matter.
I'll do player of the series. Erik Spoelstra. That man ran absolute laps around Tommy Tibbs. He knew how to push every single button when it needed to be pushed. If not for, an absolute bullshit game 2, this could have easily been a sweep for us. They did nothing to really energize their offense. They weren't hustling really for any significant portion of the series. And Spo just really, for the second straight series, just put on an absolute masterclass, I thought. I don't think any one player really, stood out for the whole series the way Jimmy did versus the Bucks, for example. I mean, Jimmy and Bam were probably the two highlights. And then you had like Strus, who showed up, pretty consistently as well. But man, we are very lucky to have Erik Spoelstra. And when anyone, throughout the year, we had people frequently, slandering, going in at Erik Spoelstra for every little small discretion that he made incorrectly. You have like legitimately one of maybe the 5 greatest NBA coaches of all time. Like, let's pull it back in a little bit, because this dude is every essence of an all-time great coach, and he will be in the Hall of Fame. And I'm hoping that he is able to solidify that Hall of Fame candidacy with a third title that doesn't involve Dwayne or LeBron, because that will be truly special.
I'm not gonna lie. You just said something that kind of like piqued my interest a little bit when it came to Spo, because they put him on that greatest coaches of all time list, but what he is able to do with bullshit rosters is nothing short of miracles.
Steve Kerr has never done that, and Erik Spoelstra,
and he will never have to. He will never be placed in a situation where he is forced to lead a team of this many undrafted players to any type of promised land. For Spo to make it to 3 Eastern Conference Finals in 4 years with a core like this is unheard of, and he should be lauded. Like, he's absolutely approaching top 5 coaches all time, and I think that conversation should be had. What you was about to say, Thurr?
Yes, Spo is a get it out the mud baby, and Kerr is a trust fund baby. That's literally the difference, dog. It's literally the difference.
You feel me? Some people set up like that. Some people just go work for it. You understand what I'm saying?
You feel me?
Yeah, I know how I be, bro. I know how I be. Some people are afforded privilege. Speaking of privilege, LJ Cascon, your turn. Go ahead and pick a role player.
I'm blessed. Truly blessed. It's got to be Max Strus, man. From start to finish, this whole series, Max Strus was incredible. You in this league, you make your own luck, and the Heat are the best team in the NBA at making their own luck, because nothing seems to really go their way, but they find a way to get out the mud and put up points. You won a playoff game at home, shooting terribly and getting 96 points. Like, they're a bad 3-point shooting team. Strus was he contributed to that. But again, a 14-point outing for Max. I don't have the numbers right in front of me about what he averaged the entire series, but I said it on the podcast last week. He is the best random cutter on the team. bar none. No one else on this team cuts like Max Strus does, which is insane, by the way. Jimmy
Caleb
has
Martin?
timely cuts. What was that?
Maybe Caleb Martin.
I don't think Caleb does it as often. Caleb does
it to get the ball to score. Strus does it to like make space.
Yeah,
I think that's the difference.
And people don't respect Caleb's jump shot as much as they respect Strus's, so they sag off a little bit, which allows more open lanes for Strus. But still, the fact remains. I mean, he's a better shooter than Caleb too. Caleb's way more athletic, but it's devil's advocate with
LJ. You said this on the podcast. What podcast was that?
The Random Scrub Heat podcast, where we're recording tomorrow with Chef Trilly cooking it up. So y'all might want to tune in because we're gonna be looking. We're gonna kind of compare some teams now. Do we want Boston? Do we want Philly? I don't know. I mean, you'll have to listen to find out. But bar none, Max Strus, he had a pretty bad series against Milwaukee. So to be able to pick it back up against a Knicks team, which legitimately was a harder defensive assignment matchup for Miami than Milwaukee was, weirdly. But they were able to overcome it because obviously their three-point shot wasn't the same against New York, but they were able to still find out ways to grind out wins against a defensive team that even in the regular season, they didn't match up very well with. They lost, 3 out of 4 against New York in the regular season? For whatever reason, Tibbs' defense, the dude can't coach offense to save his fucking life, but the man will always have an adamantly decent defense. And it's given Miami trouble in past years. It gave them trouble in this series. But to be able to go past that, and now to look at a Missoula coach team or a fucking Doc Rivers playing with his meat because he might blow a 3-2 lead to the Celtics. Like, I'm kind of excited for either of those matchups because neither of their defenses are the exact same as what Miami has had to go up against in the first 2 rounds.
If you never talk about Doc Rivers playing with his meat again, it will be too soon.
I got it, LJ.
I just want to put that out there. But yes, I do agree. I think in the first round, Miami got a team that the way that they play defense was most conducive to them being able to make threes. Milwaukee plays that extreme drop, and so like they could just get open looks off of screens and shit like that. With New York, schematically, this might be the best defensive team that they'll play in the playoffs because I think Tibbs was the best like Eastern Conference coach left. In terms of like he's a better coach than Missoula. He's a better coach than Doc Rivers. You don't think he's a better coach than Doc Rivers?
Fuck no. There's literally nothing you can point to that say that Tom Thibodeau did that. Like nothing.
It's tough for me to argue anything that Doc's done in the postseason.
Yeah, but Doc Rivers is
one
a fuck up. Well, like I'm just not like. I think that's what my point is. My point is Doc Rivers is a fuck up. Maybe
to your point, Royal. Tibbs was like the assistant coach on the Celtics when they won the title in 2008, and he was the defensive guy.
But I'll ask you this. A fuck up or someone who can't get there?
It's the battle of mid. What are we doing?
Yeah, I'm with you. Like,
when is
it
Doc
is the battle of mid.
Doc is literally one offseason trade of getting a pissed off Kevin Garnett away from fucking losing his job 10 years ago and never getting another shot.
I get the conversation, but just to move it along, like Ant said, we're arguing mid coaches. The overarching point is neither one of them are comparative to Spo, like in terms of like just being able to scheme shit. But I think other coaches left. Tibbs had like the best game plan for stopping what Miami does. I don't trust Missoula to do anything, and I don't trust Doc Rivers to be able to be different than he has been against the Miami Heat. Bubba, I want you to pick your role player, and I want you to talk about him.
Yeah, I want to talk about the number 2. That's 2 playoff series we've won without Tyler Herro since he broke 2 of his fingers. So that's something real. I mean, but listen, this is the year of redemption. Lucky for you, Tyler Herro. This is the year of redemption. Everybody seems to be redeeming themselves for no fucking reason. Can you put the cherry on top? Can you come back and be that guy? Because listen, a championship in this build was worth it. That's what they always say, bro. Just get the fucking ring. You want everyone to shut the fuck up? Come back, bro. Let's see it. I know we keep saying the finals. Bro, next series, game 5, game 6, game 7. Can we see it? Can you shoot the ball? I mean, you shot the ball with a broken hand. Like, he did it. We threw him the ball, and he shot it. Now, 2 is also the amount of spring shoes that Max Strus bought before this game. That dude was jumping out of the gym today for no fucking reason. Off 1? Like, what the fuck was that? The amount of offensive rebounds he generated for no reason? I don't know. And now let's actually talk about number 2, Gabe Vincent. My man. You, Tom Thibodeau, and Julius Randle are going to have a great time in China running that pick and roll. It's going to be fantastic, and you can get all those threes there. And one last thing for the Knicks, man. I hope they got chapped cheeses in Cancun, bro. It's fucking over. And I can't say it enough that it's over. Like, all of you Knicks fans will wake up tomorrow and your team will not be playing another game this season, and you will once again have to watch other teams. I hope you enjoyed your extended stay here at the Erik Spoelstra Invitational. It was enjoyable. We usually don't see you here that often. We'll see you again maybe, 10, 15 years? But we'll have you again very, very soon. But yeah, man, Erik Spoelstra deserves ownership when this is all said and done. Ownership, GM, front office. And the only way I'm upset is that somehow Mickey Harrison still wins. I've never seen someone try so less yet win so much. And I only aspire one day to be like that, because Jesus Christ, only one man can do so much to try and not have this team win for them to keep winning. It's crazy.
Well, all you got to do is become a billionaire, and you too get on a basketball team. But guess what? You're white, so anything can happen. Your dreams can come true like that. So let's talk to the people who that could never happen for. The blacks. Kendall.
No faith in my guys.
Pick your own player and talk about them, bro.
Bubba got in my fucking bag, bro, and it sucks because I was gonna go there, and I was gonna put a nigga on pack watch, because for a team to get to the ECF without you, and it's dead ass serious, Tyler, the blueprint has been set for you to insert yourself. Dribble, drive, play, make, pass the. I wouldn't say play, make. Dribble, drive, move the ball.
Hit your fucking threes.
Catch and shoot.
Yeah, hit your threes.
Be better, Duncan Robinson.
Oh, shit. Re-snap. I was getting caught up watching the end of this late game. But no. Real shit. Dribble, drive, move the ball. The ball will get back to you, bro. Like, this has been week 4, I think. The first game was on 4/16. So in a couple days, like, game 1 will be like 4/15, 4/16. So, bro, like, real talk, like, if you happen to come back early, because they say he is ahead of schedule, that's what I've been seeing. Bro, you gotta fall in line, bro. Fall in line, bro. And that don't mean be a bitch. That don't mean try to be Superman. You've been watching. Like, he's been watching, bro. Like, I'm dead ass. Like, for me, if they make the finals, it's damn near like a chip almost. From an AFC to make the finals, bro, this team to lose they 2 best guards on paper, it's not like a chip. But you know what I'm saying? It's going to feel good to get there. To kick out Philly, I'm going to be real. A lot of it is predicated on who they play, on who wins game 7. Because if it's Philly, I don't care if Tyler comes back or not. 22 is just 22 against Philly, a.k.a. Mr. Tobias Harris over me. Like, Embiid, I seen your work in game 5 and game 6 versus Bam. And doo-doo. Pretty much. Embiid got to show me he had a signature moment game 5 and damn near, and he shitted it away in game 6. He did nothing to end that game and close it out at the crib. And he let a guy in Jason Tatum take over. So it's like, no matter who you play, Tyler, if you come back in the Eastern Conference Finals, my boy, fall in line. If you get it going, keep going. But as soon as you get cold, move the ball. Because I feel like my man Threat said this earlier. Like, he texted me and said this, like, the fool's goal is kind of over with 3-point shooting. And I kind of agree, especially if we play Boston. They quicker, they faster, they tougher than, I wouldn't say they tougher, but they more athletic than us. So it's on Tyler to fall in line. And you're going to have your own unit, in my opinion. Because I feel like if Tyler comes back, and he's the role player I got to talk about, him and in conjunction with Kyle Lowry, if Tyler comes back early, Kyle Lowry is immediately going into my starting lineup if I'm Spoke. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't do it.
But that's because you're bringing Tyler off the bench.
Exactly. Like, I'm getting them out of each other's way. I'm letting Tyler run that second unit to some degree. But bro, it's there for you to make an impact. Like Bubba said, it don't. Who gives a fuck? Get the chip, and bro, because I dead ass feel like they got another shot to get to the finals. Like they got another shot. So, and I'm gonna be real in this segment. When it comes to role player, it's on Tyler Herro. In that, if he comes back before the Eastern Conference Finals or after Game 1, bro, you gotta get in line, bro. Like, but yeah, that's just where I'm at. And come on, my boy. Like, it's on, not my boy, but it's on you. Like, he can take the team up a notch. You know what I'm saying? Like, here is his opportunity.
Right now, they are an Eastern Conference final. They are an Eastern Conference contender without him. You know what I mean?
It's on him. He can take them up a notch.
It's like, even though they've been shitty all year, bro, it's matchup dependent whether they're a title contender this year.
But
I mean? Tyler Herro is the person that takes his team from what it is to being a little bit above what it can be if he comes in and do what you're talking about and is able to fit in and play the role. I hear myself echoing, so I'm just gonna throw it to Threat. Threat, give me your role player from the series, this game. Talk about him.
I know we want to discuss one role player, but really, honestly, I got three. I'm gonna go from number one, the high level role player, Bam, turning into a star. You feel me? He turned to a star from high level role player to a star, so I gotta show him some love.
You dirty bitch, you. Dirty bitch.
Go down, dirty son of a bitch.
From a high level role player to a star. I love to see it, man. We love to see our role players elevate themselves into stardom, dog. So shout out to Bam for that. Shout out to the real best role player of the series, number 2, Kyle Lowry. He gave us a 4-block game in this series. He gave us a 3-steal game in this series. He had 4 out of the 6 games in double figures. He had timely threes throughout the entire series, bro. He led the second unit dolo when he was out there with Cody Zeller and Vibes. You know what I'm saying? Just trash niggas all around him, and he still led the unit. He's the real reason why we were able to stay afloat in non-Jimmy minutes as well, bro. Like, which is fucking crazy to say. So shout out to Kyle Lowry. He the real best role player on this team right now. And then 3, I got to give it to my man Josh Hart, who was an effective role player, had us playing 6-on-4 throughout the entire series. Every time he was on the floor, every time he shot that bitch, hell no, trash ass nigga. Every single time they left that nigga wide open, allowed us to pack the paint, double team Jalen Brunson. Like,
every time he shot, my brother.
Bro, when they were down, Jalen Brunson looked Josh Hart dead in his face in a double team and said, "You're not getting the ball, bro." Like,
he would have just airballed it again. The dude airballed like 4 times this series. That's insanity from an NBA player.
Yeah.
No, it was insane. He was definitely my favorite role player of the series. So I just want to give a major shout out to Josh Hart.
I got to shout out the boy Caleb one time. Caleb Martin was.
No, you don't.
Do not do that.
I really don't. I'm going to anyway because Heather might be watching. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna shout out the boy Caleb. Caleb, you did stuff and things, and you did things and stuff, and that's about all we need from you. So we all know who we'd rather play in the next round. Everybody here consensus, we'd rather play Philly.
Shelton, right now.
No.
Bubba the only one. Bubba,
can I just get some Bam praise before we get like?
We did a whole segment on Bam.
Holy, bro, right there. That's exactly what I was talking about.
I had you ready, bro.
Bro, that
ain't bad, nah.
That's insane.
Wait,
that ain't bad.
Is that pull up those numbers? Is that what happened? Is that including
Bam and closeout or elim games in the playoffs? Basically, a fucking heater every single game.
We have a 4-year sample size, bro.
Huh?
Does that Eastern Conference?
That includes that.
Eastern Conference Finals will be the 3rd game of the 2020 season. That's against Boston. That's the closeout game. The other game,
the game 6 last year.
Well,
game 6 last year, 2022. It's 25, 11, and 4 assists.
No. That's game 7. Game 5 is the 20, 11, and 4.
Oh, yeah.
Game 7 is the 25, 11, and 4.
I see.
But he tricked off in that game.
Wait, game 6 it's not a close an elimination game? My fault.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Game 6 would have been the 2011 and 4. Game 5 or game 7 would have been 25, 11, and 4.
Because game 6 last year he had 6 points.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. They fugazi with them stats, and I like it because it pushes a nice narrative.
Yeah, I don't believe the 6-point thing. That's all factual.
That's why you don't show them multiple times. You only show it one time, do it real quick, pull that shit away like we said something, and then keep it pushing. So I want to talk about kind of like what you're expecting from next round. I know who we want to play, but who are you expecting to play? What you're expecting that series to look like, and then we'll close this out. Let's start with the black people. We're gonna start with you this time. Who you expecting to see? What you expecting from that series?
Man, I'm expecting to see Boston, though. Philly, I just can't trust Embiid and I can't trust Harden. And I know both of them gave us moments. You seen 2 game winners from Harden this series alone, bro. You seen major 40-point games. I cannot trust them, dog. You cannot pay me to put my money on James Harden and Joel Embiid to come through for you in a big game. I just refuse to put my money on them boys. And even though Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown be coasting and they do a lot of bonehead shit, bro, them boys been there a lot. Plenty of times, bro. I don't know. Bro, they've been dueling in the Eastern Conference Finals since Brown was in Cleveland, dog. And them boys is here again. Could be possibly here again, bro. Like, that's insane. It's just them. They just don't learn from their mistakes. I don't know what it is about them, dog. It's just like I don't know. They're just idiots. But I do expect to play Boston. I don't know, dog. This season is so weird to me, bro. And the Heat shooting is so on and off. I don't know what version of the Heat I'm going to get. I don't know what version of Bam. I don't know what version of Jimmy I'm going to get. I don't know, bro. I'm going to just say Heat in 6 regardless of who we play just because I don't fucking know and I'm tired of being wrong about the fucking playoffs, bro. So fuck it. Heat in 6, dog.
Fuck is you talking about? I'm with you, big dog. I done picked against this team every series. Not even going to hold you. Like in my real mind, not on stream. I done picked them to win every stream, but in real life, I done picked them bitches to lose both of these series, and they will not do it. This is a team that will not die. Bill Simmons called them like cockroaches or some shit like that. That is the truth. Them bitches gonna win the next series. Kendall, go ahead, bro. Tell me what you're expecting from the next round.
I'm just watching some Knicks fan poster boy Stephen A. Tears, and it feels good. Like Bill Simmons called us the boogeyman, like, and I kind of found it funny because just how like nasty this team had played. But shout out to them clutch games, bro. Like we clowned it, I clowned it. The shit was comical. It built them. I'm gonna be real, bro. Like I'm dead ass watching that game 7 on Sunday on Mother's Day. I probably won't even be tuned in, locked in like that because I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Like. Philly is pussy, like, to the highest degree. Starting with Joel Embiid. A lot of niggas want to run with Doc Rivers' name, but Doc Rivers, at the end of the day, want a chip. I'm starting with 21. Can you do something for your city? Because you pussy. 21, I seen him in a 2-2 game, a 2-2 series against a player who frustrates the fuck out of our fan base, and Bam Adebayo looked like Bam Adebayo on offense against Bam. So it's like, I'm not scared. James Harden, he's at that point in his career where he just can't carry no more. He not that guy. And then after that is Tobias Harris over me and the road runner Tyrese Maxey. Done. Boston, good team. Very good team. I think the best team in the league on paper. Like, top to bottom, they got everything. Stupider than a motherfucker. I thought, bro, they so stupid that I thought to myself, Malcolm Brogdon was going to be the difference. And that shit went out the window When game 1, I saw Malcolm Brogdon throw the ball right to Tyrese Maxey for the go-ahead layup. And I said, oh, it ain't Malcolm Brogdon. It's just that team. I don't give a fuck who we play. I don't care about the result. Them boys done got it out the mud. They done got here. And I just trust Erik Spoelstra to just do some weird shit. This man went to Hacker Robinson. Bruh, I don't know the last time I seen Hacker anybody on SportsCenter, let alone in the playoffs. So I'm at this point, like Threat said, tired of being wrong. I like once Giannis went down, I thought like Jimmy wasn't gonna lose to the Bucks if he got up a lead. I definitely didn't think we was gonna lose to the Knicks. At this point, bro, fuck it. Like, bro, I'm damn near down to say Heat in 5 or 6 as well. Because why not?
What is you talking about?
They treat the postseason like the regular season, in my opinion. They gonna scrap you, and each game is its own chapter. This is not you. When you come in to play this team, bro, at this point, it's not like, oh, we got more talent than you. So, bitch, we gonna make you turn this bitch over 12 times in the first half, and we gonna get 16 points off of them turnovers. And then next thing you know, you're gonna look up in the third quarter and you down by 8 points in your crib. So it's like, it is what it is. I don't care who we play. I feel good, and shout out to them. I'm dead ass proud to be a fan of this team, bro. Like, and shout out to Spo, man. That shit, I just wanted to win so bad for bro. Like, bro need that stamp. Like, he got it from us, but worldwide, he could get that stamp, bro.
I'm with you, bro. And just like something that you said, like just I'm dead ass proud to be a fan of this team. For anybody who don't like it, all year we've been talking shit about the team. Fuck you. Just being real with you, like I don't give a fuck about you, bro.
They earned that shit. They earned the slander.
Like, listen, bro. Everything that we said about them motherfuckers, they earned every last fucking word. So every bit of praise that we give them this offseason, they have earned it, bro. Because this shit has been different, and you motherfuckers were no different in the regular season. Y'all saw the shit we was watching. So if you don't like the fact that we kind of changed our tune on the team, fuck you. Fuck what you believe. Shout out my girl Lynette with the if Philly can push Boston to 7, we can. Them both. For sure. 1,000%. Shelton, tell me what you're thinking about next round.
All logic points to wanting the Sixers. You know, Embiid was absolutely sunned by Bam last year. He has a torn up fucking knee. Doc Rivers is a perennial choker. With that said, this is the most ass backwards season of all time. And I am going to bizarro world root for the Celtics to win so we can whoop their ass in the Eastern Conference Finals. And to that, I want to get to one quote from Bill Simmons. He said this back in February. He said, would you want to see Jimmy in a playoff series? Me neither. I think Miami's title run is over without another trade, but still, there's Jimmy and Spo and Bam and Riley lurking every April like Michael fucking Myers. You know how the movie ends, and you probably survive, but you're also probably going to be standing in your burning house covered in blood. Any Jimmy Butler team scares the shit out of me. I want these boys to go fucking demolish Boston and get to the finals. I don't care if they're the harder opponent right now because logic says that, but that's what I want.
I'm with it, bro. Like at this point, we said it a million times. After the shit that they put us through in the regular season, bitch, we deserve a finals. I deserve a finals after what you put me through, and I'm fucking with it. The boy LJ told us that his camera died, and don't care. You're going to be black for right now. LJ, tell me what you're expecting from next series.
Well, I'm rooting for Philly. I'm expecting Boston. Nice. But yeah,
George trying to be black too.
We're in solidarity. Come on, guys. Post the black square. Let's do it. No, I'm rooting for Philly. I'm really, but I'm expecting to see Boston there. I'm praying for Jimmy's ankle because it was so important to close out the game tonight because you're getting Jimmy that extra rest because that dude's ankle's cooked. It is absolutely just hanging on pins and needles. I mean, that dude can. Yeah, shout out to you, George. if it's either of them, though, like we said earlier about Spo, man, the dude deserves his flowers. We all stamped him, but it's this run would validate it in the common fans' eyes, which we don't really care about, generally speaking. But this run for what he's already doing with 9 undrafted players, it's ridiculous. Doc Rivers is Doc Rivers. Joe Mazzulla rides the spectrum like a fucking horse. I cannot, for the life of me, find myself thinking that Spo would get outcoached by Joe fucking Mazzulla and his martial arts looking ass. I can't do it. Go fucking back to Houston or wherever the hell it is. Treat your sensei to some nice dinner. Get the fuck out of the playoffs. You suck. You can't say good things about Ime Udoka because he's a fucking sexual predator, but the dude was a better coach than him. Ime Udoka's a fucking bum, but he was doing better.
Ime Udoka was not a sexual predator.
He's a sexual predator.
I will not let you slander a black man on this program.
It's my narrative.
I'm cutting your fucking water
That
off.
is a cut his water. That's
Goodbye.
a nasty narrative.
You will not
I want you to do me a favor. Remove this cracker from my show.
Fuck is that boy talking about? That was consensual.
That was nasty.
Go ahead and pick a role player and talk about him.
For next round, I'm gonna take either Philly.
Oh, that's what the fuck I meant.
Yeah, no. If we take Philly, like
I've been drinking the whole show, by the way. I just want to put that out there.
If we take Philly, bro, like it's. I know I said I was waving my finger. I obviously Philly is a better opponent than Boston because Embiid is hurt. But there's just this deep part of me that fears Philly because there's a lot of Miami mistakes over there. James Harden, Tyrese Maxey. It just, there's a part of me that doesn't want to see those dudes fry the dudes we decided to keep on our team. I'm sorry, he's not playing. Never mind. So let's keep it real. Heat in 5 against the Sixers, Heat in 6 against the Celtics. Erik Spoelstra is double the coach anybody in the NBA right now. I'm trying to think. Like, seriously, I think there is so much of a gap right now. It's ridiculous. Like, I think it's probably a bigger gap than in any other sport. Is there, like, listen, if you know soccer or something, let me know. Is there a coach that is so far and away better than everybody else in their professional sports league? It's not close. And I'm trusting Erik Spoelstra seeing them the third time.
The only one
Klopp over everyone.
The only one that
Pep.
Fuck Pep. Pep had a $1.9 billion budget to work with. Shut up.
Let's talk about soccer. The only
Basketball.
one that looks
Black people
close,
on this show, we don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. Go ahead.
the only one that even looks close, Bubba, and it's not even because it stops at coaching, is Andy Reid.
Yeah.
And the rest of like the NFL.
I feel like the Reid comparison with the innovation, Andy Reid will break you as a coach, bro. You will not even be able to fathom what the hell he's doing. And I feel like sometimes when Spo goes crazy with the zone and the switches, there's just shit that other coaches can't even fathom. Like he's not only coming for your organization, he's not even trying to go for a championship. He's coming for your job. He's going to get you fucking fired. Like Mike Budenholzer, fired. Is there a chance Tom Thibodeau is fired this week? I think so. Joe Mazzulla just got that extension, but I know he was the interim guy. Doc Rivers is going to get fired if he obviously advances, but Philly's going to lose because Doc Rivers stays blowing leads, and then I like Heat in 6. I do, and it's a complete coaching thing. And Tatum, bro, Tatum,
he can't do that against us.
That's what I'm saying. You can't do that. There's no way that if Jason Tatum goes 1 for 15, the Heat do not win the game. And the Celtics have a serious coaching problem where they do the same simple-ass offense, and Jaylen Brown cooks, and then they do not get him the ball. I think Erik Spoelstra seeing this roster a third time, it's the same Celtics roster plus Brogdon and whatever. It's going to be easy, man. I'm taking us to 6.
Hey, bro, shut up. I have to pee. Bro, I can't, keep doing this. What is you boys talking? I don't even care no more. I just want everybody to talk so I can close the show. But you motherfuckers are taking forever. So guess what? Georgia and y'all not finna get y'all shit off. Thank you for guys in the comments for joining us. Blah, blah, blah. Squale, squale. I have to pee. Play the video, Justin. All right.
Boy, your Junior died. What's your Guan win? Well, young you and Bufanchi.
What's your Jamusa? What's your Megrin Booster John Green?